The following is a Live the Dream Media production.
Welcome back. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Marana,
Yes.
Arizona.
Yes.
Good morning. How you doing, David?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I'm good. It feels
Yeah.
good to be
Yeah.
over on
Yeah.
this seat.
Look
So
at
this is
him.
only my second time in this new setup, but I'm my first time on this other side here.
Yeah.
So, and I'm looking at the cameras and stuff like
Well,
that.
the reason
this
we
is
got
cool.
David sitting over there this morning, we got a special guest in the house, and I'm gonna talk to him a little bit.
Yeah.
Brian Vance from Catalina Brewery is in the house.
That's awesome.
Going to be talking about his 9th anniversary that they just celebrated this last weekend. I remember the day they opened up.
Yeah.
I remember that. It's like yesterday.
And what's the place?
Catalina Brewery,
Catalina Brewery.
down the street here around the corner from us. I remember it yesterday. Tammy and I went down for their grand opening and parked out in the road there, along Camino del Martin. And
Yeah.
9 years.
Incredible. That's great.
Yeah,
man.
that flew by. Hey, so we're going to do a little quick intro into local Marana. And I just got to, right now, and this is a shout out to God, I guess, the weather over the last several days.
85, 86.
Yeah, come on. I hear people complaining about it. It's going to get hot early. You know what? That's got to be a myth. I've been here 35 years.
Yeah.
And I don't think the fact that it gets warm in February has anything to do with what's going on in July.
No, because we've gotten snow in March and April.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
I had a picture just popped up from March 2nd.
Yeah.
We had snow.
Right.
And it's going to cool down next week. We're going to be back into the low 60s as a high. So
Yeah.
I'm an 85 degree weather guy myself, though. We don't have enough of these. We got plenty of 50s. We got plenty of 110s. We just don't have enough 85s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm on the other side. I like cooler weather. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
I like 75-ish. That's where I'm at.
Okay, well, I can do 75-ish.
Especially after going to San Diego. That was,
How was that?
That was great. It was great. It was warm.
Yeah.
We were able to go to the beach.
I see you in the water.
In
the kids
February.
in the bare feet. And bare
the
feet
water
on the
was
beach
warm enough to go with, probably about knee high.
Yeah.
After that, it's up to, everybody had wetsuits on after that, kind of. But it was great, man. And, I'm excited for a lot of stuff going on. And I know you're doing a plug and with the Catalina Brewery today and hanging out with Brian. And I want to do one with the Marana Chamber, right? We're going to be sponsoring the Marana Mornings next week over at the Premium Outlet Mall in Marana.
So everything here at Live the Dream Media will be the best of, from Christy Simone show right on through local Marana, the Clint Peak show. Watch if you can, but if not, come on over and join us at the Outlet Mall.
Yeah.
At the like you say, Live the Dream Media is going to sponsor the meeting next week, and
catering by All City Catering.
We've got dancers and we got a whole
our podcast. A good. So here's what's cool is a good amount of the network podcasters are going to be there. So you'll get to meet Veronica. You'll get to meet the Backseat Thriver girls, Christina and Bridget. Christy Simone's going to be there. Ourselves. And there might be some others. So I think that's really cool that we're going to go and just hang out and meet everybody, have an opportunity to network with all these folks here in the community. Because of course our studio's in Marana, which is really cool. And we're having a lot of fun, and we want people to have fun with us and share some opportunities there are for sponsoring shows and stuff like that. I think the sponsors this far into our journey are really blown away with what's going on and how many people are listening and hearing and seeing. Right, because the one thing to remember is the post-production aspect of it, where people are still seeing the sponsorships and advertisements.
We love to be
after the live.
And Tammy and I were talking about that yesterday. How cool is that for our advertisers, especially that their advertisement is forever in that podcast? So
pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
One thing real quick that I told Chris that just left with another incredible. Wake Up with Christy Simone show this morning. The CJ and Dan Shear, and it was just a great show. This last few days, especially this week, we're on Wednesday, the buzz in this room is becoming loud. Like yesterday, there was a lot of stuff taking place.
I counted 20 different people here yesterday.
At the same time, all interacting in different, and we had meetings going on, we had podcasts going on, we had guests coming and going. Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Hey, since you're talking about that, I want to share something with the listeners and viewers. all the behind the scenes stuff that you're not seeing is going to be available on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You got to subscribe and pay. It's $2.99 a month, but there's going to be a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff that the regular folks that aren't paying that aren't going to see.
Yeah.
So you'll have exclusive access to that content and information and be the first to know about certain things. So you talking about that kind of stuff's going to be on there. So you guys should go and sign up for that. We'd really appreciate it. It helps us support a lot of other stuff.
And honestly, a lot of times that's more engaging and informative or entertaining than
you're going to get some wild stuff in there. I am not going to give anything away, but I've seen some of the stuff the crew, the production team's putting in there, and I question. I question some things.
Hey, we're not that slick to begin with here, but can you imagine what we are when the cameras aren't necessarily running? It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to do one more thing, and then I'm going to bring Brian in because he's waiting patiently in the green room or over there somewhere. I don't know where he's at. Hey, and this is where Chris, if you're listening, here's where we're coming from. Technical question, and this is for the future, not today. When we run, and it's not a question per se, is we need to be having this conversation, you and I especially, at Live the Dream. I want to be able to run live from the time we start till the time we close on TV, for lack of a better place, without breaking it. I know we have to break it from show to show to Spotify and all that. I get that. But we need to be thinking, how do we show the live show from the time we sign on in the morning till the time we shut off in the afternoon? You get where I'm coming from? Because I don't want people to have to go back and refine this all the time. If you're just, in other words, I want someone that's sitting at home right now to just be able to turn on the Live the Dream Media channel and watch us throughout the day. And when we're changing shows, we can do the little blooper reel or something before it hits the paywall.
Yeah.
We got to make money somehow over here, guys.
Yeah. Here's a question for you.
Okay.
Ask Netflix why they're not doing that.
Yeah. Okay, Netflix. Why are you not doing that?
That's your homework.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the technicals. That's my counter to.
I get you.
To the
I get
to
you.
the question.
You get why I'm asking, though.
I get why you're asking, and I think you'll find your answer in a different way. And I don't want to give you I want you to see why the bigger streaming platforms are not doing that.
Okay. Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
As soon as we're done.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to wrap this up. Anything you want to throw in the hopper before we run out of here, David?
You know what? It's great to have Brian here.
Yeah.
Having local businesses on the local Marana podcast is great, and other organizations, and we encourage anybody that wants to come on here and do something with us. Even if you work over there at the town, you're always welcome to come on here and talk about things.
Or from the state. Not gonna throw names out there, but we had contacts from state officials, elected officials yesterday wanting to come on. So how cool is that?
Yeah, I truly feel that what we're doing is a service to the community. And you can go in the chat, you can call, you can email, do all kinds of different things with it, and we want to grow this show bigger and stronger along with everything else that we're doing. And we're not neglecting Tucson or anything like that. Chris has got that covered. So
in this particular hour, 9 to 10 on Wednesday mornings is specifically for local Marana and Oro Valley, because we're all in this thing together. But the rest of it could be for anything, right? National, international sports stuff. We're working on some new stuff with that, but just
hey, if you're interested in, here's the last thing, if you're interested in hosting a sports show here, we have an opening. So shoot us an email, contact@ltdmedia.net. Do it, or you can reach out to local Marana. That's fine too. But we've got some opportunities, and if you're interested in hosting a sports show, let us know and send us some of your work, some of your pilots, and we'll get going.
Let me go a little bit wider before we close. Not just a sports show, any type of show. We got openings, we got weekends, we got weekdays, there's a lot of people coming on. So if you want a specific spot or like a thing, you better seriously, we're telling the people coming now, if you want that specific spot or that, like, be able to that's like the genre you want to work from.
Yeah.
You need to probably commit to that now. And there's people coming. We'll be announcing in the next 30 days, quite a few new people that are going to be joining the network, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Hey, Shay, if you want to take us out with a quick commercial break to all those incredible folks that advertise on the Live Dream Media Network, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with Brian Vance from Catalina Brewery.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair. My drains were clogged. I was Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in Southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
Beautiful. And we are back, Local Marana. Hey, thanks again to all of our viewers, our listeners. We really appreciate it. I don't know if you're watching on YouTube or X or Facebook or you're listening to us on the app, but we really appreciate it. And you know what? Our numbers are just, especially on the app, that's just crazy how you guys have responded to downloading that app. So if you haven't downloaded the app, you can take this anywhere you go. Live the Dream Media app in your app store. It's all free. And there's other bonuses and things there that you can get through that app that you can't get anywhere else. Okay. Longtime friend, first time visitor to the show, Brian Vance, Catalina Brewery. Welcome.
Oh,
Good
thanks
morning.
for having me here.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
A lot of cool stuff going on. David and I were just talking. I remember your grand opening.
Yeah, we've been neighbors, 10 years now?
Well, yeah.
Or more?
Yeah, and it's just crazy how quickly that time flew. I mean, I remember it clearly. Tammy and I came down. It was a Saturday afternoon. We parked over on the west side there because the place was just packed.
Right.
And
Yeah.
here we are. You just celebrated your ninth year in business. But
This last weekend, yeah.
I remember you coming early on when we were doing some stuff like the pre-plan for the road being closed. You remember that?
Yep.
And you came for a few of those meetings, and then we sat over there at the chicken place a time or two.
Yeah, Chicken de Huevo and the plans.
Yeah,
and the grand opening, reopening of the road, and the reopening when they finally finished.
And here we are at
else.
6 years.
Yeah.
You know, it was 8 years last week. The actual closure took place.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
February 18th or 16th. I can't. One or the other. in
you
17.
remember those.
Yeah.
Month itself.
Yeah. Well, I'm a numbers guy, so if I'm losing the numbers, that means I'm losing it completely. I might not remember anything else about it, but
that was a rough 1 year that turned 2 year construction project.
two and a half. May 4th. Remember, because it was May the 4th.
I remember we had a big parking lot party for that.
Yeah.
And then what? How many? And then very, very quickly after that, COVID came over and shut us down again for 2 more years.
19, and we started within less than a year.
Yeah,
because we had, as a family, went to New York City during December. Mm-hmm. Tree lighting, the whole thing. We stayed right down Rockefeller, did the whole thing, and we came back. And within 45 days, we're hearing. I'm hearing this thing about. In Europe, there's this thing called COVID.
Right. Yeah.
I'm starting to pay attention, and by March,
I
remember planning like an Easter thing, and I heard that, and on that Sunday, I just shut her down.
St. Patrick's Day that weekend is when they shut everybody down.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on that anniversary as well.
Yeah, we're having a party here as well.
Chris was telling me about it, so he kind of hinted that maybe I should come over and participate.
You know what? We'll talk when we're done. But yeah, absolutely. There's some things, and we had my 60th birthday party here, and we made a visit. You guys took care of us for some beverages.
Yeah.
That was 7 years ago.
I thought it was last week.
So 9. You just celebrated 9 years.
Yeah, 9-year anniversary. Yeah, we we decided to open in February. Right, we have the 24-hour mountain bike race that happens out in Oracle every year. It's a big 5,000 person mountain bike party, and we participate in that. And then we said the next weekend afterwards we're going to open. So February is always crazy. Lots of stuff going on. But it was a great weekend. We had Exception, the local rock band, there on Saturday, packed the house.
And Shay, if you got any of that might correlate with what we're talking about, feel free to throw it up there, and I'll just kind of look out of the corner of my eye. There's different pictures that from last weekend, and you can cover me. There you go. There's a picture right there.
So that room, if everybody can see that room, when we first opened, we just had the tap room. Then we added a patio, and about 3-4 years ago, we added this game room. So now we have this full game room that's been a wonderful addition. It allows us to have entertainment like this band. We have 12 pinball machines, pool table, foosball, shuffleboard. We constantly are doing events in there. We just had a pinball tournament yesterday. We have music now every Sunday.
Yeah.
So we had Exception Rock Band Saturday for our anniversary party, and then we did a follow-up with this my friend of mine, PJ, that does this acoustic songwriters. He brings in 4 folks. They just sit on the stage and they just talk and play their music. And it's really, really fun. And all my friends and locals were there. It was great.
Full disclosure, I'm not a beer drinker, nor I don't drink alcohol, and haven't for years. But I have been down to your place numerous times, and even if you're not partaking. Of your brews, which I think a lot of people really enjoy your brews because they're there pretty faithfully. There's a lot of other things to do and enjoy yourself.
That's been our model. A lot of businesses are struggling. We've heard of some closures recently, unfortunately. But we expanded beyond beer. We are. We have good beer, and that's great. But we have a wine license. We have other beer that's not ours. And we have non-alcoholic. The non-alcoholic trend is big right now. So we have a whole section in our fridge with non-alcoholic beer. We have, everything you want.
So and the reason I basically mention that more than anything else, you're not a bar. You're something. You're a destination that actually sells beer. Wine, but you're not a bar. This is a place where people just go get their drunk on, and away we go.
We're family friendly all the way around.
Family friendly and bike friendly because you're on the trail.
Right off the loop. You can bring we park bicycles inside because most of my friends that ride bikes know that bikes are not very cheap today. And so we allow you to park your bike inside in the brewery, right next to the brewing equipment in the backyard.
Hey, show that one. Yeah, show that one picture there, the bright one, the one on the left. Yeah, show that one right there. And Brian, you can tell us what this is.
To be fair, that's actually the beer crawl downtown that happened on Saturday.
Okay.
But that's always part of our anniversary party as well. We support the beer crawl, the Tucson Foodie Beer Crawl they put on every year.
I see that now.
Yeah, and so we did that as well. Yeah,
and then the picture with all the people on the right opposite of that one, because that looks like. Yeah, that one's fine. No, that was fine, Shay.
We have a there you go.
See, there we go.
That's inside the tap room during the anniversary party. Lots of people taking pictures and sending them to me. We've got a million pictures to choose from, but
now the guy in the middle is
a friend of mine.
Yeah,
Todd. His name is Todd.
I recognize his face.
I think I got one of the people on the patio at the bottom there, but. That's a bright one on the bottom.
Bright one on the bottom.
No, that's not it. Never mind.
And then show that other one because you guys the one. Yeah, go ahead and show. Yeah.
So, anyways, 9 years. 9 years is a significant period of time for anybody, but we've only done it because of the people in these pictures. We have a tremendous local following. It's been amazing, even through COVID, even through the freeway closure. One of my stories are, when after COVID you could get a grant if you lost money. I didn't because all my regulars kept supporting us.
You know what? We were blessed that way too.
So unfortunately we didn't get the grants. Fortunately we didn't need them.
Yeah. So, we were blessed. It was like, you know what? We could probably apply and maybe get them, but why? We're just blessed in that respect. I want you to show, if you will, because this is a right there. Yeah, that one. This is an award. Our accommodation. What is that, Brian?
Yeah, Yelp sent out I can't see it from here, but it basically said, hey, you know, this last year you had some of the best reviews, you know, top tier reviews of businesses in your field. And I got one of those. Dominic's got one. Blacktop Grill got one. A few of us local businesses got one because we've been doing good stuff. And I was very proud of that. We were told we were the top in the top 11 rated breweries in Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there must be
There's,
literally
I don't
hundreds.
even know. It's a good question. There's like 20 maybe in Tucson.
Yeah.
But
statewide, there's got to
Yeah.
be 100
So
or more.
I was very proud of that. And then we also, there's another thing I sent you that shows that we were the top brewery voted brewery in the northwest of Tucson last 4 years running.
And that was by what publication or what?
It's a Tucson Media. Tucson Local
Okay.
Media, yeah.
Because I know there are a variety of people that have those
And
awards
the
from time
living,
to time.
best living one is one that I think I sent you. But it's been wonderful.
Well, you know what? To do 9 years in this environment with all the things you just talked about, and they were real.
Yeah.
We've been here now. We've been in business 20. We've been in this plaza 17. Excuse me. You know, it's been like this.
Yeah.
You know, now we're doing this quite a bit, but you know,
It's feeling that way this quarter for sure.
Yeah. But you know, when you talk about it, and if it's in Tucson, it's still, that's the region we live in. So, and to see these closers, some of them long term, even though long term, we can't say that was just because it's new operators in some cases.
Right.
But 96 years, you know, they've been in business and they're gone.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's been sad to see some of those for sure. You know, it's
and
unfortunate.
then the other one was 9 years. I think Hi-Fi said they were 9 years, and I can't remember the other one.
Hermanos downtown. Those are some good folks there, and
these are, you know, the thing is, and I'm with like Chris. He's a stubborn advocate for the small business and the taxpayer and the working poor. I'm that person too. I love small businesses. Thus, local Marana.
Right.
When David and I started this, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 4 years on the local Marana, he was, hey, the big guys, not that we're anti-big guy, because you want to be big. We all want to be big or bigger.
All the big guys were a little guy at one point.
But they were all little guys at one point, so I'm not anti that. But it's like the little guy, and there's 30 plus million of us in the United States. You know, 99.9% of all businesses in the United States are someone like Brian and ourselves. How many people you got working with you?
5.
5, see? Yeah. And that you would be the 90% of the 99% would be that business, right? These are mom and pops that live in your neighborhood. They send their kids to your school. And our livelihood, you know, and this, I have other interests, but so this technically isn't my livelihood, although it is. If you put 20 years into something, it depends on the support of the local community, like you just mentioned.
Yeah, 100%.
And you were able to survive some of these really hard knocks, especially coming out of the gate, because people liked what you were doing, and they took the time and effort to come spend money with you.
Yeah, no, we can't thank our customers and our friends and our family enough, you know. But you're right. You have to have them want to come.
Yeah,
and I think I'm really proud of what we've accomplished in that respect. You know, we've made it a destination and entertainment. There's something going on every day.
Yep.
One of the things I love is almost every day somebody walks in there and goes, "Wow, this place, the vibe, the energy, the friendships." I had a guy come in on Sunday. We were all sitting on the patio. Every Sunday we do yoga in the morning before we open, and do half price mimosas and Bloody Marys, and we do Sonora Dog and beer specials every Sunday. And then in the afternoon we have live music, local musicians, just some guys that we know around here that are great. We had Drew Cooper here this last Sunday. He's a big local musician, but you know, so he was very popular, and a few other folks came in too. I can name them all, but people came in and just said and saw how everybody were just sitting on the patio. They knew each other. They were having a good time, and then people pulled, not me, but other customers pulled these other new folks into the group. And by the end of the day, they were all just coming back and hanging out the next day. You know,
we've got a sign hanging over in the bakery, and Tammy and I have had this philosophy. Our whole business life is enter as guests, leave as friends.
Yep.
And if you adopt that mentality for real, you know what? You're probably gonna be, if you're doing anything at all right, if you do that right first, you're probably gonna be somewhat successful.
Yeah.
And I see that in a lot of small businesses, and that they somehow skip that part of it, especially if they get busier and things are happening. And I was somewhere the other day, and I'm like, you're missing that first step.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard for you to recover, because if you're not putting into your family and the people that come through the door that love, hey, call them by name after the first or second time, or at least try the cheers, where everybody knows your name, you're going to have a hard time competing, because there's just too many people that do that well.
Yeah. You can have the best product, but if you don't have the best time, it's not going to work out.
I used to tell people you could just serve just about, from a food standpoint, you can serve just about anything as long as you're nice. You can get away with a lot of mistakes. I owned a trucking company, and I'm like, guys, here's how you can be a star in this industry. Look like you've had a bath in the last week, shave, and be nice.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to do. For the next 15 minutes, be nice. Say something nice to somebody.
Yeah, we got the Ben's Bell sticker on our door. You know,
there you go.
Be kind.
Yeah.
So it's great motto, great place.
What are you playing with there?
Oh, I just something to play with. I got business cards and stickers. People love stickers when it comes to breweries, right?
Yeah. Well, we got a table out there. A lot of stickers go on. I don't know if you noticed that. We'll have to make sure.
I brought some in.
We'll have to make sure. I thought he was getting ready to pay me with something there. I wanted to double check. Hey, Shay, we're not gonna do any bumpers in this thing. Brian and I are just gonna chat. So just give you a heads up. And Shay back there, I got a shout out for Shay. This young lady came in. She was working with Tammy in the bakery. She is a student. She's studying coding. She's just one of those young ladies, and one of those young people that you just watch their work ethic, and you're like, you're an exception in today's market. And so when we were kind of transitioning, we don't do as much over there as we did to over here. I'm like, let's give her a shot. She's been in that studio Thursday and Friday last week. Yesterday, she was in there for 7 straight hours pushing buttons, and I said, "You're like an umpire or referee. You're doing a good job. If I don't notice that you're there." And so I just
that's a big factor, right? I mean, your business is only as good as the people they talk to when they come in. Yeah, and I want to put a plug out on my employees too. People come in and say, "Hey, I'd like to work here," and I was like, "I don't have any openings right now, but what I tell people is keep coming back. Yeah, get to know us. Yeah, I've not hired anybody. Everybody that works for me has come in, got to know us, and somehow something happened and they jumped back there to help. Next thing you know, they're one of my employees / one of my customers' friends. Yep. Everybody just jives.
Yeah, that's the way it is here. Yeah. We don't hire people. We don't fire people. It's just
they just show up.
You just show up at the right time, and hey, and you know what I always tell people, I don't even have jobs, but I have plenty of opportunities. If you help me with any one thing and it works, then we'll probably find a way to build off that. If it doesn't work, then I've got another old saying: we'll give you enough rope to hang yourself. So
yeah. No, it's definitely a family over there, and I love it. So no, I appreciate you having me here, and we'll talk about it. I encourage everybody to go to my website, sign up for the newsletter, so that'll tell you where.
What's your website?
CatalinaBrewingCo.com.
Okay.
CatalinaBrewingCo.com.
Yeah. And what's your hours down there? I know you're 7 days a week, but
7 days a week. Weekdays is 4 to 9. Weekends is like Fridays too. Fridays and Saturdays are 12 to 11, noon to 11, and Sundays noon to 8. So
4 to 9 during the week.
4 to 9 during the week. And then there's a sign on the door that says, little tiny letters, it says, closing hours depend on how much fun's being had. So I tell my bartenders, it's up to you. If you got somewhere to be, go ahead and do last call. If people are having a good time and you're good to stay, stick around.
Yeah. Kind of the way you do at home, right? Right. We'll go home when the party's over.
We've got a couple customers that from day one, when they walk in, we're like, I guess we're going to be here later. They just want to stay.
That was the way David and I were talking a while ago about this. You can see when Chris came over, the dynamics really changed, because he's got this incredible following of Wakies, and they downloaded the app, and our viewership went up crazy.
Well, actually, I just downloaded it in the lobby after talking to him.
Thank you very much. You'll be glad you did. But it just, and we've known Chris. I mean, I used to be on Chris's show way back in the day. I mean, he was showing me pictures of.
Yeah, I met him during the freeway closure work there.
Yeah. And I probably as early as maybe 2010 met Chris. We knew Sean McCluskey was a good customer of ours, and he turned us on to Chris, so we'd go down on his Food Fridays. I'm thinking at least 10 or 12 years ago. I don't remember the exact time frame, but and then we bumped into each other at John Post at the Pumpkin Patch, something the chamber was doing out there a couple of years ago, and we just started. And then at the State of the Town a couple of years ago, and we just started. The relationship got, like you talked about, it just grew and grew, and one day we're just like, hey, AM's dying. How about using this? And he has political aspirations, which he could never do under a FCC controlled format. And he has announced to run for mayor of Oro Valley. I don't know if you know that or not. Yeah,
right,
I keep trying to say we need to run for council so we can guarantee a victory. Not that he can't win a mayor, but we just need numbers on that board. Right. And I'm going to throw it out right now. We're on local Marana. We have 5 seats open in Marana next year. 5 seats. And I challenge you. I challenge me. I live in Oro Valley, so I can't vote in Marana. But I live in Marana. I sleep in Oro Valley. Is the line. Yeah. We need to be thinking about who our next candidates are, because I know there's going to be definitely a couple seats open. And I love the way this town is governed in Marana, and we want to keep it that way.
Yeah, no, I've from day one, I've been impressed with the support that Marana has given.
Absolutely.
Businesses. The town and the chamber both have been amazing for Catalina Brewing, at least.
Yeah. We're sponsoring next week. Make sure you come to the chamber, the breakfast.
Okay.
If you can, next Wednesday.
I try to make the mixers, which was yesterday. I couldn't because I had an event. The breakfast, owning a bar and closing at midnight, sometimes it's tough to make the breakfast.
Hey, I was here. I got up at 4:30 and I was out late last night.
Right.
I only have to do that occasionally. So if I was doing that on a regular basis, it might not be that easy. So a great 9 years. You guys have just killed it. I mean, it's obvious with the clientele that you had, the people that keep showing up, the awards that you keep winning. The fact that you celebrated 9 years is a testimony in and of itself, because most people just don't. I know a lot of people in your business that started roughly the same time that are no longer in business, and you know who I'm in just in this area. There were a lot of them that had, as a matter of fact, some of them had better locations, not to pick on you, than you did.
Right.
That were more visible. People have to really want to go to you because you're not like out on the front row.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you this good opportunity to give a little education to the folks here. Breweries are manufacturers, which requires them to be in an industrial zone facility.
Okay.
And there are very few industrial zone buildings along the main roads.
Right.
There are some. There's a few here, but those aren't very large usually.
Well, let me ask you a question without naming names. How'd the one over on Thornydale, weren't they a microbrewery?
No.
They weren't?
No. So if you are a brewer, if you're somebody that sells craft beer, you're just a retail space.
Okay.
If you create the beer, you're a manufacturer. So you have to be in an industrial zone building, and there are a couple along the roads we looked at. Finding the building was a long effort, but you want something with tall ceilings for the brew systems to fit in. So you end up in those complexes down off the main road.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, if you think about it, a lot of places all over the country, people always say, "Man, breweries are always hard to find." That's why. Now
I just learned something.
There's two exceptions. Downtown, you would say, most people ask me, "Well, what about those ones downtown that are on the main road?"
Yeah.
Well, all cities start in the downtown, and that's where they did their manufacturing. They did their meat packing. They did their
they were already grandfathered, for the lack of a better term.
They were industrial back in the day, and then they turned into retail because everything's moved out.
Well, with this plaza, just out of curiosity, we're more industrial. With
some of it is, but again, they don't have enough tall enough ceilings in this complex. Yeah. So, and the other exception is if you're a restaurant first, then you can brew your own beer, but then you're limited to the percentages you can distribute.
Okay,
that's it.
We've been back on this back row for 17 years, and we have people that live here across the street that say, I've lived here for 30 years and didn't know there was a back row over there.
Yeah, no, we get it. We get that on a regular basis. We didn't know you were here.
9 years, here we are.
Right?
Yeah.
We
not that you're hard to find, but you're not. You're down a dead end street, by the way.
Yeah,
in a light industrial area, which you know the story. We looked right next to you, or in the spot you're in at one. Were you in where the cookie wheel was, or was that? And that was a number of years ago.
I don't know of anything like that
Yeah.
there. Where
they were gone by the time we started, so they would have been gone.
Yeah, there was
18 or 19 years.
Stone processing place where we were. The next to us was Mr. T's, a t-shirt shop.
Right.
He's bought something else and moved out to the Prince. So we grabbed his space. That's where the game room is.
Yeah. And then there was Toby had his batting cage down there at one time.
That was in my space.
Is that your space
They
now?
had the machine where they had the stone grinding business. Then he needed something bigger, but he couldn't get off his lease. So he made it a batting cage for his daughters and their softball team.
There you go. See, I learned something new.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were actually in his spot.
Yeah, he glued carpet or grass down on the concrete.
Yeah.
That was a pain in the butt to get
Yeah.
off.
Thanks, Toby. I haven't seen Toby in a while. Is he still around?
I didn't know him.
Yeah. I knew him back apparently 9 years past because I don't think I've seen him in 9 years.
Yeah.
So what do you got coming up? I mean, you're obviously you got the 10th year you're shooting towards right now, but
Yeah, I
What-
mean,
what are you plugging right now?
We always throw a little. We always say we're having an anniversary party, and people show up. We throw a band, maybe, but we don't. But the 10-year, we're gonna plan something big. Definitely. It's always on rodeo day weekend, so it's always a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll try to do a rodeo theme. I don't know, but the upcoming next thing we have is. All month we have this next 2 months we have some of the big bands. Sunset Red, everybody loves them. We've got some other big bands.
Yeah.
So again, go look on our website. It's the information is there, and sign up for the newsletter. Our next biggest thing coming up is I was talking to Chris about it. It's a cool little local event that the Marana Rotary Club puts on. It's called Tour de Cookie, and they set up booths. Businesses set up booths on the loop, and you ride your bike from booth to booth and get cookies.
Yeah.
And we do that every year right here by Sportsman's Warehouse. And then it goes, this year it's starting at the Ed complex in Marana.
That Honey Municipal Complex.
Yeah. So it's starting there and coming to, this is the other end. So they go back and forth either way you want to go.
Yeah.
Usually it starts down in Rieto and this way. This time it's going to go into the Marana side because they just finished the loop up that way.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun. That's in the morning. And then we encourage everybody to stop at the brewery afterwards for Sonoran dogs.
There you go.
Or tacos.
Yeah. Well, I like both of those a lot. A lot. It just seems like yesterday you guys were opening.
Yeah, believe me. Yeah.
Doesn't it? Still yet? I mean,
we kept changing. I'm just looking for my rest of my list there. But yeah, we opened, gosh, it was, I see pictures pop up every now and then, and it's just such a big difference.
so that was 16. You opened in 16.
Yep.
And so you opened in February of 16. In February of 17, we shut the road down.
Yeah,
we shut the exit down.
Yeah, we had and to be fair, Marana told us they're going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So it was
Well, they told us back when we moved in.
Yeah.
You know who didn't know was the paint store right there. And they moved in like when you did, July of 16.
Yeah.
And I was talking to one of the district managers one day. I'm like, well, so what about this road closure? Because we didn't know anything about it. I'm like, well, you just didn't talk to enough people. Everybody in the neighborhood knew this was. When we moved in 2008, they were telling us they didn't know when it was going to happen.
Right.
They just knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. No, they warned us, and I said, well, we decided just to open anyway so we can get established before then. Because if we would have waited till after, there would have been no way.
You'd have been, you wouldn't be open.
No.
Because we had the road closure for 2 plus years, then we had COVID for hardcore restrictions for 2 more years.
Right.
Speaking of Ed Honey, dear friend of mine, matter of fact, just people that listen to the show regularly know, Tammy and I was picking him up for lunch that day that he passed away.
No.
We spent the last 3 years of his life, Ed and I were together all the time. I mean, I was his eyes, his ears.
Yeah.
I've taken over the hugging of the women part of his persona, but just a great human being. I loved Ed Honey. The municipal is named after him.
Yeah, that was good.
But Ed Honey gave you and I, as business operators in the town of Marana, the cover we needed to stay open during COVID.
Oh, no, 100%. The Brewers Guild, Arizona Brewers Guild, did a lot of work to keep breweries to be separated from bars so that they wouldn't legislate us the way they were doing to the bars. But Ed stood up and fought to make sure that anybody in this area was minimally restricted as much as possible.
Yeah.
Safely.
Yeah. No, he called it out.
Yep.
You do you.
Right.
We're not closing this down. And the health department, in this case, Pima County, we're under their jurisdiction. They wanted to get like sideways with us a little bit. I mean, just doing their thing. And we're like, yeah, no, what we're going to do is we're going to follow the mayor of Marana. We'll do everything you ask within reason.
Yep.
But we're in the town of Marana. We're going to do it by the town of Marana's response to this.
And of course, we all wanted to do it as safely as possible.
Absolutely. Well, we still do.
Yeah, we do it. You got to follow the rules, but you also just got to know what's right and what's safe.
Exactly.
100%.
Oh, I've been a physical distancer from way back. I'll ring your doorbell, but I'm stepping back 3 steps. I don't. If I'm in the store, I get ran over a lot because I'm giving.
Yeah.
And to washing my hands, I'm almost like a germaphobe. I'm a guy that washes his hands.
Yeah, we had to keep a log
lot.
to show how often and when we clean the tables and it was something. That was for a once in a lifetime hopefully.
Yeah, well,
experience.
hopefully.
I do have a fun story about Ed though that I tried to tell a couple different places. I went to his memorial. That was an amazing memorial.
Wasn't it?
Oh my gosh! And
did you get some of the Eddie Rays?
I did.
Yeah.
And they had a picture of him at one of the tables. They had pictures in one of the table. They had a picture of him with one of our Crowder cans.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. He came to my brewery not too long after we opened, and we were still learning things. And we thought, not me, but a certain staff member thought that private parties meant nobody else can come in at all. Period. Private parties to me mean this is your party.
Yeah, you're over there, and the rest of us are over here.
So Ed made his stop over there after we opened just to support us. I wasn't there, and he was kicked out. So Ed got kicked. Every time I saw him, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, man.
We kicked the mayor out.
You kicked me out of your bar." So he got kicked out of Catalina Brewing.
It comes up in conversation. I had Jan Lesher in here a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we just spent the whole time talking about Ed. He was just such a unique individual. He said, "Well, Clint, I'm a politician." I'm like, "No, Ed. You use politics to lead. You're an elected official, but you're a leader first." He had John Opser, who has been his next door neighbor for 30 years and served on the council with John as a councilman right now, said, and I thought he just nailed Ed. He knew he had that ability that most people don't have, but he'd see people that he knew needed to be together, and he'd make sure they came together to work on whatever project he threw at them. And then he'd just walk away, and he'd go find more people that needed to be together. And I really admired that. And you know what? I was with him, like I say, a ton over the last 3 years. My wife and I on it. I mean, it was as hurtful to tell her what had happened as anybody that I talked to. He was just a real down to earth leader more than anything else, and he truly loved people. People that he would disagree with about a lot of things. He just really cared about them as human beings. Right,
and it goes back to what you're talking about with owning a business and knowing and doing the same thing. He made that culture. He made that vibe amongst the rest of his the council members. Yes. And I feel that same with all of them.
Well, I do too. I'm with the exception of Patrick, who I don't know very well, the newest member. All the rest of them, I'm friends with them, like really close friends with all of them.
Every time you see them somewhere, they always say hi. They're always
absolutely.
It's great, and it's it's the same thing in your business. You have to have that same culture, you have to pay attention to people, and make sure that they feel acknowledged and taken care of and
cared for. I got to tell one more thing real quick. Just one of those Ed stories, and it's about David Samorano. David, just an awesome human being. I love doing life with him. He and I are business partners. It's great. But Ed is one of the reasons we have this, because I woke up one day and went, I'm going to get Ed Honey on, meet the Marana's mayor, and he came in and was some of the first legitimate podcasts that we did. Covered a lot of stuff about Marana, the history of Marana, the Honey family in Marana. I mean, there's dozens of them. If anybody's interested, you can find them on all of our different platforms. And then he did his own. And in this January, he was planning on doing his own again. He goes, Clint, I'm taking the gloves off. I'm going to come in and I'm going to really tell it the way it is. And, but then there's a picture hanging right there. So Ed's one of the main reasons why this exists the way it does. But he was in here one day doing a podcast, and he went to David after it was over. David was in the booth there, and he's like, David, I'm paraphrasing, but basically, you suck at relationships. You got to get better at building relationships. And David took it to heart. You know, he's like, well, if the mayor's telling me I need to be better at the people and cultivating the relationships around me, and I'm telling you, that was 2 or 3 years ago. David's gotten really good at building relationships. I guess if the mayor tells you got to do that, you probably ought to.
You know, people appreciate being told something that you know, in a caring way to pay attention to.
Yeah,
people want. Most of them don't even know that they need to hear that.
Well,
whatever it is.
Have you noticed that with kids, especially?
Yep. People think you got to be kind to your kids. You know what I mean? It's
well, you got
easy
to
with
love
your
them,
kids,
but a little bit of discipline.
You got to be straight with them.
Absolutely.
You got to be straight.
Well, that's what I'm that way. You know me a long time. I just somebody like, hey, Clint, can you be a little bit softer about it? And I'm like, well, I guess I could, but this needs to be said. And don't take it personal, by the way.
Yeah, don't make them cry. Just make them be aware. You know.
Well, I can't control the crying, Brian. Hey, so great. That went fast, didn't it? I mean, we kind of stole 20 minutes of your time. Dave and I get wound up, and we got a little slow start.
It's all right.
But you know what? It was fun. It was, you know what? We're going to have you back, and then let's just go ahead and start planning to have you back in January and February of next year before the 10th one rolls around. But we do this all the time. We've got a lot of opportunities for you to be on. We're going to get you on with Chris. We'll have you back with me on my show. We'll have you on this.
Yeah, I got Chris's info. I'm going to put you guys on my newsletter just so you can see what's happening. Yeah. But he did mention, I'm interested in following up on that St. Patrick's Day, maybe. We always do some food special.
Yeah.
You know, my wife, she's the Jersey Grill there.
Yeah.
If you haven't had her food, she's an amazing cook. So she's going to do a special for that Sunday and Monday because, you know, who knows who's going to come out Monday.
Yeah, right.
So we're going to have our local musician on Sunday. We'll have a special. And then we're going to continue that food through Monday because we have Brian Dean Trio every Monday. I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but that's an awesome band. Awesome local band. Every Monday, and we get a good crowd for that. So I'll break my time up between that and here Monday.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to have you, Brian.
That'd be good.
You're welcome anytime, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah, I don't see you often enough only because, you know, we all get busy.
Yeah, you ought to see my schedule. It's just like nuts.
Yeah, I bet.
Hey, grab my phone too real quick, Shay, or Demi. Demi just walked in. She's taking some pictures. We're getting ready to sign off. But, Brian, it's just been a pleasure. You mean to look at you, I guess, so you can take a picture, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Smile for the camera.
You're another one of those people, though, Clint, that every time I see you, you're super friendly and always good to see.
Well, you know what? Life's just too short to go around with, you know, and she's right on us. and you know what? The reason, I guess, is I would like for you to think I'm having a good day every day. And if I can't pull that off, then I'm not working hard enough, right?
Yeah, no. Every time I see you, it's just you're always positive.
Yeah. Life's good. Life's good. Life's fun. Well, you know what? I've been blessed. I mean, what do I have to be upset or?
Well, what did you say? You live the
I'm living the dream. But that's not by accident. We named it that, by the way. Thank you, Shay. Or Demi. We got so many of these young ladies around here. You know what? How blessed am I to have all these young people?
Right. Yeah,
I'm just surrounded by them. People are like, Clint, you got nothing. But I'm like, yeah, the old people aren't much fun. They're picking out their cabana wear for their next trip and stop it.
I've been told before that, you know, I have a crew over there like that because they just want to be there.
Yeah,
we've got a huge mix of demographics all up and down.
Yeah, but it's such a pleasure.
Yeah,
pleasure to have you on. We're going to do this a lot more often.
For sure.
Let's just commit to that, right?
Yeah.
We'll do a quarterly update or something, right?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, man.
Guys, hey, thank you so much again. You know, we couldn't do this without you. We really appreciate you guys. And you know what I'm getting ready to say? I say it all the time. Be nice to each other. It's just not that hard if you try. Thanks, guys.